didn't wake up motivated this morning. I woke up tired. Let's be honest, I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm laid off. I'm still not back to the income that I'm used to. My 2-year-old is already on the move, and this is just what my mornings look like right now. I used to think that consistency meant showing up at full capacity every single day. And this season is really teaching me that's not realistic or necessary. I don't talk about this a lot, but there are mornings where already feel behind before the day even gets started. Like, my body's tired, my brain is already full, and I haven't even finished my tea yet, or even ate anything. But I always make sure the kids eat, I can assure you that. And I think that there's this quiet pressure, especially as moms, to still be on and still be productive and still be moving forward like nothing has changed. Like my life hasn't been kind of disrupted. As someone who is just fiercely independent, it's so odd for me right now in this time period to have to ask my husband for stuff because I'm just so used to I always pay all of my own bills. It's pretty rare that I ask my husband really for anything, financially at least. So it's so odd now where I'm like, hey, can you send me extra money for this or whatever. It's so odd. I'm just so used to always just constantly going all the time, nonstop. I'm used to having a full-time job, having, 3 side things going on, and then having 3 clients for structure and scale that I'm working on projects for. So it's so odd to just sit here and realize that things have changed. My capacity is different right now. My energy is different, and pretending it isn't, it just makes everything harder. Some days that's really frustrating to deal with for me, and some days it does make me a bit emotional because I'm just so used to having a very specific routine and having specific days when specific things are need to be paid. And so it's just odd for me to adjust. And some days I'm proud of myself just for getting through the morning, man, because my kids, love them dearly. There's nothing wrong with my kids. It's just my kids are so active and always wanting to be, doing something, going somewhere. So it's really odd to just be like, hey guys, we got to chill out. We got to sit down and relax. We got to be home. That's a little bit weird for me right now. Notice that when I start feeling, super overwhelmed and just frustrated, and I feel like I'm not making enough progress about where I am right now, or things aren't moving as fast as I would like, it's usually because I'm comparing today's capacity to an old version of myself. And that's a version of me that wasn't pregnant, a version of me that definitely got more sleep than I do right now, a version of me that could move faster. My sciatic nerve wasn't trying to take me out every 2 seconds of my life. My son wasn't exactly as independent always, but, he definitely was still on the move. And I keep reminding myself this season, it isn't worse than what I've been through in the past, especially with, being laid off. This is the 4th time now. It's just different. And different doesn't mean, that things are failing. Different doesn't mean that, I'm falling behind or, anything like that. It just means I have to adjust to a new normal. And that's okay. And if you guys have been following me lately, on social media, then you guys know I decided to start this whole 30-day content challenge. And this whole 30-day content challenge, it isn't about providing, anything specific to anyone. It's really just me, staying consistent with myself and having that level of transparency and really pushing myself and motivating myself to get back into doing content, especially, and, occupying my time, even when, consistency right now, for me, it looks quieter than I would have expected. Some days I get a ton done. I do. This is just a chunk of, 2-3 hours of my day. And then some days I'm barely getting through the basics because my sciatic nerve is setting me free. And it's like you have laundry to do, you have clothes to put away, you have, got to go get gas in the car, you got to pack the kids' lunch, and this is helping me stay grounded, stay motivated, and I hope it encourages others too. That everybody's version of normal right now, it's okay. And I'm learning that whether I get a ton done or I get a little bit done, everything counts, and that's all that matters. And right now, quitting on myself just because things feel heavy or sometimes it's a little harder than normal, It doesn't make life any easier. It just makes it even harder to start back up again. So even in those difficult times, I have to keep pushing myself, and I'm going to keep pushing myself because we are on day 3 of this 30-day challenge, and it's so crazy. I've already gotten like 13,000 views, which is crazy for me because all I'm doing is just posting more, and it's crazy. And I want to say all this to say, if you're watching this and you're in a season where your energy is just kind of feeling off, or your motivation, it comes and it goes, or you feel like you're moving slower than everyone else that you see on social media, that you're comparing yourself to, I just want you to know that you're not alone in that, and you're not doing it wrong. You don't need to push harder. You don't need to start over. You don't need to quit. You literally just kind of have to take a deep breath, slow down, stay grounded, and you just need to keep showing up in a way that actually works for where you are right now. Something I didn't expect this season to teach me is patience. And if you guys know me well, then you guys know I'm so impatient. And my son is in the potty training stages as well. So that is, testing every piece of my fiber. And it's not the patience, not the cute kind of patience or the inspirational kind. Guys, the real kind of patience. Like the kind of patience where you don't get to see immediate results. You don't get to immediately know what's next. It's the stage where progress feels slow, and you don't get that instant sense of of accomplishment, and it's done, and it's like you move on to the next thing. And that's why I think this adjustment for me this time around is so much harder, because I'm just so used to logging in for work for the day, having my set of things I have to do, checking off my list. In the process, I'm doing all this regular stuff you see in this video here. Right here, I was cleaning the bathtub because my son had he caught himself changing his own diaper and using the potty, and it was just a disaster. So I had to clean everything again and have some patience. And he didn't do it intentionally. He's just trying to get to the potty and do it and be independent, and that's okay. But I'm realizing how much I used to tie my worth of how much I could do in a day and how much I could check off of a list, instead of, now I have to measure my progress differently. There's moments where I still catch myself thinking, I should be doing more right now. I should be up. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And then I stop and I remind myself, I am doing something big. I'm growing a human. I'm raising a toddler. I've got a 5-year-old. I'm still doing, I just may not have a full W-2 income. I have some income, and I do still help, other businesses with, what they're doing, and I still have structure and scale clients. It's just, for me, I think I just got to a point where I was just so used to constantly having to have such a heavy course load. And I'm beginning to realize that I don't have to have that heavy course load. And I'm still choosing to show up in the ways that I can, and meeting myself for where I am right now. And that counts. Even when that, it may not look super impressive, especially when it doesn't look especially impressive, I checked off all these things. But for me, I'm still getting things done. It just might be at a different pace or a little slower. And I think a lot of us kind of need permission to refine what progress looks like. Progress doesn't always mean momentum, guys. Sometimes it just means stability. It means having consistency over intensity. It means trusting that these slow seasons are still productive seasons. They're just in a different way, and you may have to look at it at a different angle. You may have to do a little bit of a deep dive, and that's okay, guys. Look, I'm out here taking out this trash. I had to take out the trash, the recycling. My son, the house was stinky at this point, so we got it done. If you're in a season where you feel like you're moving slower than you want to, or you're not where you thought you'd be by now, I hope this reminds you that you don't have to rush your way out of it. You're allowed to stay here and still be making progress. I'm sticking with this 30-day challenge, not because every day feels good, but because I want to prove to myself that I can stay consistent even when it's uncomfortable. Not because I'm chasing a result, but because I'm building trust with myself. And it's really awesome to see other people on this journey and to, get encouragement from them. And they're like, wow, this was so relatable. It's exactly what they've been going through as well. And that matters more to me right now than anything else. So yes, this season is slower, it's heavier, it's asking more of me emotionally, I'm getting more patience, but it's also teaching me how to be gentler with myself because I am super hard on myself and I expect a lot from myself every single day. And I think that's something I'll carry with me long even after this kind of season is over and the whatever is going to come is coming type of thing. And I appreciate you guys for being here with me on this journey. And we're going to make it through, guys. We are going to crush it. So if you like videos like this, push all those buttons for me. Give me all the love you can. And let's keep going, guys.